That's probably what we're here to do, get anal about dice. Not in a weird way. Hello everyone, Glass Half Dead here, and today I wanted to finally do my review, my real review of Games Workshop dice. But to do that, we need to know a little bit about how to tell whether or not your dice work or not. Here, we have a huge vat of water filled to the brim with salt. And the reason we are using salt is because it changes the density of the water and it allows dice to float in it. There you go. I was expecting that to be a 5 when I threw it in, not a 3. Basically, in here, it allows you to test the weighting of a dice. The advantage this gives you over simply rolling a dice 1,000 times to get a statistical average is that it means, in theory, if the dice is unevenly weighted, it will always, well, most of the time, allow the heaviest part of the dice to sink to the bottom, and therefore the lightest part of the dice go on top. And of course, an unbalanced dice means that you are going to often roll inaccurately. Statistically, over a long amount of time, if I took this out of the water and began rolling it, you would see that it would seem as if it rolled normally. So this dice I've already tested a lot, 5. It will statistically roll, the heaviest part of the dice is on the 2. So when you throw it in, it comes up 5, right? I'm not doing any sort of weird trick roll. It's a 1 that time. That's just how the dice is balanced. Well, that's a brilliant way to... There you go. The reason this isn't... So D6 are not as easy to tell whether or not they are unbalanced dice as a D20, because a D20 has much smaller sides and so it can twist in the water far easier. Here, the dice unfortunately have quite large sides, and so they can get their balance on sides that aren't their lowest or heaviest side. So that's why we are occasionally getting 6s and 1s and 4s and all that stuff. But this dice, I have already checked, tends to lean towards 5. You see? I mean, look at that. You saw that it was clearly at a 1 and it just flipped around to being a 5. This is just a standard Chessex dice. There you go. Nothing special about it. This is a Chessex dice from the same batch that I bought at exactly the same, years ago now, years ago. I haven't rolled this one in here yet. Let's have a look. 6. I suspect that these two dice won't have the same weighting. But they will still both be weighted. This one seems to be rolling 6s quite commonly. So the reason... I will show you another angle of this pot when I can, and it will show you perhaps why this isn't always giving you a clear, oh yeah, that's definitely a 6. That's definitely weighted to a 6 or 1 or whatever result. And it's because I've had to put so much salt in here that there's actually not much room for these to move around. They're not really moving free. If I could, drop them in and they'd fall like a meter and then slowly tumble their way to the top, then that would make sense. Unfortunately, not the case. There you go. I mean, this one does seem to be rolling, I'd say, more 6s than anything else. I say, as it then rolls 3s constantly. Alright. You possibly can't see it, but that is trying to turn off of the 2. But it couldn't quite make it. Poor little guy. So, there you go. You can also do it with other dice, not just Chessex. I think this one weights to a 4. I can't really remember. wanted to turn. Anyway, this is just a way of finding out what your dice wants to do naturally. If you are a tournament gamer, go ahead, do this to all of your dice and see what's what. Now, so this is the Orc Kill Team dice. Statistically, it's been found that I believe Games Workshop dice tend to be weighted to the 1 and the 6. So all of your Games Workshop dice will tend to roll either very high or very low, more than they will roll averagely. So the reason I'm doing this now is because in one of my battle reports I mentioned it. A few games ago I was playing a guy and I was using my Orc dice and I was on fire. I was rolling nothing but 6s. It was insane and I wiped the floor with him. And because I already knew about the statistical probability of rolling 1s and 6s with dice, with GW dice, I felt really bad. Like, I genuinely felt like I'd been cheating. That's how many 6s I was rolling. There was no way that those were natural 6s, you know? So, yeah. So, for anybody wondering, the way to fix... So, if you want to be a genuine, you know, I am winning because I am better at strategy and luck, as opposed to I have weighted dice. And you don't want to go through rolling 1,000 rolls on each dice to get the statistical average, and you don't want to do this salt. It's just standard table salt, by the way. And you don't want to do salt rolling of your dice, which, by the way, screws your fingers. Like, wow. They're kind of tingly from how much salt is on them at the moment. It's probably not a good sign. The best thing to do is, so, with these opaque dice, obviously you can't see through them, which means you can't see any manufacturing defects inside them. So the simplest way of knowing that your dice roll well is to swap to a see-through dice. I'm not saying that every single see-through dice is going to roll 100% randomly, not at all. But if there are no defects on the inside, then you can be pretty sure that actually it's going to roll okay. People might complain about, pick this up, the pips. So, you know, they will say that, well, there are pips taken out as recesses in the dice, as opposed to just being painted on. So that already means that they are imbalanced. So, for example, here, where's the one? Not on this dice. So, you know, there's 2 here. There's 2 dots taken out there, but there's 5 here, which means this side is naturally lighter than this side, right? So this should, if it was a completely balanced dice, roll more 2s than it would 5s, because as it tumbles, 6 instead of 2 there, as it tumbles, it naturally wants to have the heaviest side fall down to earth more. It gives you an unbalanced dice. But that's really getting quite anal about your dice there. But I'm doing a over 10-minute review of dice, so it kind of makes sense. That's probably what we're here to do, get anal about dice. Not in a weird way. I'm rolling these in the background just so that you can see what they do. I'm not actually counting at this point whether or not they are rolling on one side more than the other. I'm just talking to you about how to have good dice. So go with clear dice. That's the best way to make that happen. And better yet, you can find these on eBay, but all casino dice. That's kind of... You can buy casino dice, which are the ones that I use, because I'm that kind of guy, which look like these. So obviously these are clear. So you know straight away that any manufacturing defects, probably not there. All of the symbols, painted on. So there's no grooves cut out on any of the flat surfaces. So if you get X casino dice, they will have a little stamp mark, which you can just see that little indented circle. The casinos do that to say that they are finished dice. They will never use these dice again. You also get wherever these dice were from. Apparently this one was from Palace Station Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. Now, I bought these ones ages ago. But as soon as I bought them, I realised just how big they were. And at the time, my game was 40k. And I'm not going to roll 40 of those a turn. Those are huge. I need bigger hands if I want to do that. No. However, with Kill Team, the maximum number of dice you're ever going to roll at once is 6. And actually, that makes these very attractive for Kill Team. In case you're wondering why I don't roll it, just sinks. That's why. Yeah. So there you go. So yeah, I'd say go out, buy casino dice. And also, keep in mind that these are ex-casino dice. On eBay at the moment, I've managed to find genuine casino dice with no serial number or any stampings at all. It's just the dice. So that's really cool. And I've picked up a few packs of those, and those will become my official Kill Team dice. Different colours, so that hopefully I'll be able to match them to the colour of my Kill Team that I'm using. Yellow for my Drukhari, of course. That's just a little bit of advice about dice. Advice about dice. Dice advice. That's what I'm going to call this this episode. Dice advice. Nice. Dice advice, nice. Great content. Glass, great content. Yeah, so if you are concerned about your dice and how you're rolling, go and get casino dice. I swapped over to them because I absolutely trounced someone with these. All of my orc dice roll this symbol more than anything else. No, sorry, they will roll this symbol more than anything else, which means they're heavy on this side and light on this side. And this is the faction symbol. And when I was in the tournament that my local game store played, I was playing this side as the 1, and I lost every game. When I then played a friendly, I played this side as the 6, and I destroyed him. I felt bad. It wasn't a fun game. I just won every roll. It was kind of meh. So there you go, guys. Go out, find yourself some casino dice. Go crazy. Have fun. I would say, honestly, if you're only playing Kill Team, there's no need to buy any other dice than the casino dice. They're big, they look cool, they actually feel really nice to roll. Which might sound odd, but they do. They have a really good rolling feel to them. Much better than these do. Which is impossible to tell. Like, there's no way to tell, like, explain why something feels good to roll. That felt better, didn't it? Probably not. But trust me, go get casino dice if your only game is Kill Team. That's a little bit of information about how to tell if your dice is crooked. Hopefully I've cut this down for you, because this shouldn't be a 15-minute video, my god. Anyway, little bit of dice advice for you there, guys. Glass Half Dead, signing out. Have a great day.